welcome to Ask an Armourer. My name's Kia, and today I've got a really exciting vlog coming in for you. I am heading down to the States, down to Louisville, Kentucky, for the January NAC, the North America Cup. So I haven't been down to work one of these since pre-COVID, so I'm really looking forward to this. It's going to be a much larger tournament than anything Canada puts on, and I don't have to be in charge of it for once. So I'm going to take you along with me as I sort of show you what it's like for me to work one of these. As you can see, I've got my suitcase and toolbox ready to go behind me, so I am going to get myself off to the airport now. Wish me luck. Hi everyone, so I have made it safely to Louisville now. Sorry, Louisville. As did all of my equipment, which I'll be honest, I was a little nervous about, given not last week, it was between the holiday travel season and a couple really major winter storms that came through. Travel was just a disaster, and I was seeing all sorts of horror stories about bags just piled up at airports, left there because flights got canceled and everything. So I was a bit worried, especially because traveling with a toolbox full of various tools, they don't tend to like that at the airports, but we got here, everything is safely, and I gotta tell you, my hotel room, I have it just for me, and this is swanky. So we're gonna do a very impromptu, quick hotel room tour, because this is basically a apartment. This isn't just a hotel room. So let's go over here. So we first come in and you're greeted by this lovely living room setup with a full opening closet. We have, okay, this is the one thing that makes it not a real apartment. All we have is this tiny little kitchenette thingy, but still, just expand this open and you got a real kitchen. So here's my toolbox, yay, it's here. Come on over into here. We have the bathroom. Nice big size and everything, rather nicely put together. A little, mirror for, looks so lovely. And then in here, we finally get to the actual bedroom area with closet, another TV, and seating area. Like, and everybody, look at this mirror. Like, this is beautiful. So I am really jealous. I wish my actual apartment was this big and this nice. And of course, we can't forget, we are in Kentucky, so everybody, we're going to enjoy some bourbon and some horse racing, apparently, rather than a fencing tournament. So I hope we enjoy that instead. But speaking of fencing tournaments, I'm going to take this opportunity to explain a little bit more about the difference between this NAC that I am at and the Canadian tournaments that mostly appear on my channel. So, as I've mentioned, I live and work in Toronto primarily, so that's where most of my fencing work happens as well. And a large national event in Canada is, 28 pieces. It's, large for us, given the population of Canada, but not huge by a lot of standards. By comparison, I am here for a NAC, which is one of the national events in the States, and I think we're running about 60 pieces at this one. I don't know registrant numbers, but already you can see there is a huge difference in size. Also, I am on a team of, I believe, 8 armorers, all of which are nationally certified for this one, rather than in my usual cohort where I am pretty much usually the only certified armorer, or there is only one other person with me, and we have volunteers to help fill in the gap, which is quite nice for that level of just everyone can pop open their station and get to work. So that's the overarching. Then for what we're going to do here, it is actually just a Tuesday now that I've flown in. The competition doesn't start until Friday, so we are going to be taking basically all of Wednesday and Thursday to do setup. And that's not only for the number piece that we have, but we're also going to do some elevated finals piece where we need to set up the staging, everything else like that. And we need to get all of that done in time for the video replay IT team to come in and do all of what they need to do, because that is something separate from what we as the Armourers are going to do. So yeah, that's the basic overview. So breakfast is going to be at 6:30 for me tomorrow, where I will meet everybody. I've worked with most of them before that I saw on the list. A couple that I will be new to me. So yeah, we'll meet everybody. We'll go over the plan of how we're going to, do everything. And then we are going to head over to the venue and get started. So I am going to go get myself unpacked a little bit so I can settle in. I'm going to shower and then probably just have a quiet evening in before early bedtime so that I can be fresh and ready to go for tomorrow. Alright everyone, so as you can see, we are here in the venue. So not much is going on yet. We are just, where are we? It's here. Back here is where the armory is, and we are just starting to unload the trucks now. We have the forklift working. So yeah, we are waiting on our crew yet, but given we haven't even unloaded the piece, that's not a big deal. So I'm gonna head back to the armory just to make sure that my station is set up, since I can do that right now, as well as start unloading some of the armory boxes that have already arrived and get those working for us. So gonna take a few more minutes before we could really get going hard on the setup, but yeah, we are here and we're ready to go. All right, so as we started unloading the trucks, we realized we had a problem. As you can see in there, one of the bins, the one at the top left there, is at a really nasty angle. The lid below it got crushed somehow, and so we had to figure out how to get that out. We ended up shoving a long 2x4 under there to kind of wedge it up, and from there, some very skilled forklift driving managed to get it out. Sammy. And here is what that lid looks like. Ooh, look at those reels.
Wait, sorry.
Ooh.
That room for advertising.
Lovely. All right, everyone. So right now what we're doing, this is Tim, Wave Tim. He's another one of our armorers for this weekend. And he is going through and checking all of these reels to make sure that they work. You can already see here, we've got a couple of them that have already been discovered to have some issues that we will need to adjust. But we're basically making sure that we have enough to start with, that even if we have ones that have issues, we still can set up the tournament and make sure that things are going, as well as we have extras. Over here, we have all of our other crates with all of our various spare parts, more spare parts. We have that one back there, had all of the machines in it, which have already been distributed. And over in the middle there, we have a couple more of our armorers doing the same thing with all of our floor cords that Tim is doing with the reels. Basically, we have a count of how many we have. We're making sure that everything actually works properly before we send it to the floor. Taking this few minutes for this extra step will just make life that much easier, because once the fencing actually gets started, and this entire back and forth labyrinth is full of fencers wanting their equipment checked, it's going to make it a lot easier if we just know everything on the floor is okay. So as you can see, things are slowly coming together. We're basically distributing everything right now, making sure all of the pieces have a piece, the reels, the machines, and the floor cords that they need. And then once everything is in place, we'll just be able to open it up, drop it down, make sure all the electrical is where we need it to be, and then tape it. And we will have a tournament ready to go. All right, everyone. So here we are opening up the boxes, and within each of these crates we have 2 pieces as well as the stands for the scoring machines. So they are going to go up on the table here, and we're going to hang the 2 scoring machines from either side of it later on to make them that much more visible, because they're going to hang about a yard above it, or a meter for my Canadian friend. All right, come on. So here we go. We see the stand is coming up. It is a pillar and a base that is held together by 2 nuts on the bottom. Very strong. So mighty.
I'm a sandwalker.
Want to do that directly for the camera?
The Wookiee or the sand person?
Both. By the way, everyone, if you're wondering, yes, this is a very familiar face. You may recognize Sam, my friend over here,
Happy armoring.
who has Armourer.
I can has armory.
So you've probably seen some of his videos online as well. Also very helpful. And yes, we're all insane here.
Yes, it helps a lot.
All right, so as you can see, our crews are here to help us out. So we are opening up the boxes. They each have 2 pieces in them, and we are working our way down with the crew to put them all in place. And as you can see here, right, where's my finger? Right here at the end, we are leaving the last pieces flipped upside down. This way we know that they're not yet taped. So when we are all set up and we know that the layout is going to work, electrical's where we want it, everything like that, we'll come down, we'll put the tape in and really kick it well into place so that hopefully it lasts more than 30 nanoseconds when people start fencing on it. So as you can see here, we have our box with all the extra pieces. Hi crew! Then we have our others. We're over here laying down the pieces. We have this length of copper rat mesh that is going to go down the entire length underneath here. And it's basically just going to make sure that even as the pieces start slipping a little bit, they actually retain connection to each other. So hopefully we're not going to have to do huge amounts of kicking them as people are moving and just like disrupting them. So you can see we're laying them down quietly, very nicely, 2 people per in order for safety. And then we got 1 person here that's just going to walk the box back as we get closer to it. In the meantime, I am going to go through, because we don't have any other crews to work, I am going to go through and start taking the reels and floor cords and just kind of staging them like this next to the piece. So while the pieces are not yet firmly in place, I can at least start doing this so they're roughly in place, and then we just need to shift them where they need to go when we are ready to tape everything down. And here we have the room for the semis and the finals strips. So we have 8 of the semis ones in a nice V formation here, which is very dramatic. And I love our starry night skies here. And then finally over there is our fancy raised finals piece. So a few more things to get done. Need to run cables, tape things down, etc. Finish off some of the signage. But yeah, this is almost done down here. So as pretty as these ballrooms are, unfortunately one of their major downsides is the floors do not tend to be completely flat, unlike the concrete upstairs. So here we're just trying a few different shims in there to see if we can flatten and stabilize this piece. Mea culpa, I said we were well on our way to being done in here, and therefore it is my fault what is going on. But as you saw earlier, we had 1 piece that needed to be moved because it's on a floor pocket and it's just, there's too much bounce to shim it up. And therefore both pieces on that side need to be moved in order to keep consistency. We thought it was just those 2. It's like, okay, fine, annoying, but we can do that. Now we're realizing it might be these 2 as well. So they're over there looking at that to see what can possibly be done, if anything, to alleviate that one. And I am finishing up distributing reels everywhere because we need to do that. But yeah, so this might take a little while, and it is a good thing we have 2 days for this. Our worst fears have been confirmed. We do actually have to move this piece. The pocket that we're in is just unfortunately a little bit too deep for us to shim our way out of. So I'm going to go down to the end, we're going to take it apart and shift it over 12-18 inches to reduce that issue. You've seen this before, but now that we have finished moving this piece, it is time to drop the end with tape on it and kick it back into place. So I am just lining it up like this right now. A little bit tricky with it being just myself, but that's okay. It is still possible. And once I have it, we're just going to set it down and kick it a few times in order to make sure all of the panels are nice and snugly settled together. Alright everyone, after a long first day, we are done. So we are all coming back to the Armory real quick, packing up our stuff, and then we are heading out of here for well-deserved showers and dinner. I will see you in the morning. Alright everyone, good morning on setup day 2. So it is just about 6 a.m. right now. I've been up since about 5:45, and yeah, slowly starting to get to our earlier mornings. I'm just gonna go get my hair done and then head down to meet everyone for breakfast for 6:15 so we can head over to the venue for about 7 o'clock. I will see you in there. Wave, Sam! Say hello to the people!
Hello, people.
Alright everyone, so we are here on day 2 of setup. So what we are doing now is we only have one more pod of piece that actually needs to get set up still over there. We are having a crew of people coming in to help us out with that at 8 o'clock, I believe. We're just about quarter till now. So in the meantime, we are starting to set up the machines, run the reels, get everything nicely taped. You can see this side is in progress, that side already done. Then we'll need to flip up the ends of all of these if they're not already, like those ones, add the carpet tape so that we can just peel it up and stick them down, making sure that everything is as nice and sturdy as we can get it before everything starts. So we're going to keep going with this, and hopefully we can get through this really nice and quick.
Running. 3, 2, 1, action.
Alright everyone, so this is a little bit of fun that we get to have. We'll see if I can do this successfully on the first try, or if now that I am doing it for an audience, it promptly fails. But basically what we can do, because of the way that these get wrapped, is once I unwrap the end, and I just have the remaining bundle here, I might be able to cast this nicely so that it just stretches out to get to the machine. So, fingers crossed, we'll see if this works. And there you go, a nice beautiful cast all the way down. So now I can just go ahead and plug this in and then get me taped out and plugged into the machine at that end. Hey everyone, so as you can see behind me here, we are pretty much set up with all of the piece. All of the machines are up, all of the cords and reels are taped down, and all of the pieces have been kicked into place. So right now, they are all fully functional and ready to go. I'm sure that's going to change soon once we actually start getting people in. But right now, we are all now here in the Armory getting our station set up so that we are ready for early check to start this afternoon. But yeah, we're going to get that all set up. We're going to have a bit of a lunch break, and then we're going to come back, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we get lots and lots of people checking their stuff today, because the more we can get done today before competition even starts, the less we have to do during the day, and that just makes everyone's lives easier. Alrighty everyone, so as you can tell, a fair bit of time has passed. So this afternoon we got into early checks. We weren't entirely certain what to expect with that one. It's kind of hit or miss. Sometimes you get a lot of people that are coming in early and want to check their stuff. Sometimes you don't, because people just want to show up and just immediately get to fencing, or they get here, they're tired, they just want to go to the hotel and rest. You know, it's up to you. But this was a good one. It got pretty busy, and by our estimates, we probably got through about 500 to 600 people this afternoon. So we still have a lot of people to check in, but at the same time, our overall count, I think, is 2,800 or so for this weekend of registrants. So that's a fair chunk, and the more people that we can do early, the better. So anyways, it all went very well. Setup has gone well, so we're all set. At this point, it is just before 10 p.m. Just got back from dinner after doing final checks and everything. So I am going to get myself cleaned and ready for bed because we are starting early in earnest tomorrow. I'm waking up at 5:30, breakfast is at 6, and then we are going to be in the venue by 6:30 to make sure all the machines are on and our setups are ready to go for the onslaught at 7 a.m. when the doors open to fencers. I am hoping, fingers crossed this works out, to have a super cool time lapse for you at that point, showing sort of what that looks like of just the wave of fencers coming at us. So stay tuned for that. That should be showing up really quickly after this one. In the meantime, I will see you in the morning.